Hi, my name is Cameron and I'm a student at the Way School of Discipleship, and this is my testimony. I was saved when I was young. I was about 3 years old when I realized that I was a sinner. I knew that God loved me and I wanted to love God back. I knew that He sent Christ to die for my sin, and that sin was something God didn't like. So though I was young, I still fully understood God to be my Savior, and that meant a change in my life. I took Him as my Savior, but not quite as my Lord. So growing up in a Christian household, I had a growing relationship with God, but I wanted to try and live life my way. I wanted to live partly for God and partly for myself, which led to me being lukewarm at times. In high school, I had friends that would party and would drink and swear, and I understood that God didn't want me to do that. But as I hung around with them and tried to live life my way, I just kept making compromises. I started to do things that I knew were not right for the sake of getting along with these friends. And at the same time, I also had a relationship that was progressing rather quickly, and I just felt as we were going along that I just kept compromising. I started going away from my church just to be with this girl and separating myself from the friends that I had made in my youth group. And ultimately, my life was getting to a point where I was getting pulled apart, and God wanted me to make a choice. I knew that I couldn't be living my way and God's way at the same time, and it was tearing me apart. I had to examine my life. I had to think about whether I wanted to live my life for God or live life my way. Was I going to keep compromising and falling further into sin, growing distant from God just for the sake of friends and a relationship? Or was I going to have peace in my soul and live with the great blessings that God had already given me through my life? After a bit of examining, I realized I wanted to live fully for God. I wanted Him not just as my Savior, but as my Lord. So I cut off my relationship with those friends. I broke up with that girl, and it was tough in the moment. But I count the joys of living for God and the friends and great blessings that He's given me so much more valuable than anything else that this world could have given me. After I got saved and chose to make God Lord of my life, I started to live more for Him. I got more involved with my church. I got involved with teaching in youth group and worship, and eventually, by a long string of events, got led to be here and study in the Way School of Discipleship, and it's been amazing. Now, to me, being a Christian is recognizing God as your Lord and Savior. It's not just a mental assent of knowing God exists or that Jesus died. It is believing in the power of the resurrection, believing that He died for you, for your sin, and wanting to live your life completely for God because of that. And I want to encourage you as you're watching this. I want you to ask yourself, do you think God as just your Savior, or do you think of Him as Lord too? Do you fully live out every step of your life for God's glory? Or is it part of the time you're taking control of your life yourself? And if you do recognize God as Lord and Savior and live your life for Him, what does that mean to you? I pray that you would take time to think about your life, think about what Christianity means to you, whether it means just God as your Savior or fully committing your life to God. And I want to encourage you, though it may be hard, God may call you to leave behind a relationship, leave behind friends, bad habits, things that you enjoyed for that season, but trust me, the joy of God is worth it.